top off. I cannot fuck with no knockoff. I'm in the stool like a pop star. Damn it, I feel like an outlaw. You wanna talk what about, dog? I'm in the room with the outlaws. I'm in the room with the outlaws. Let me deliver the home run. I'm calling this one a walk off.
Say checking down, looking to see if somebody's playing the check down is an insane way to play quarterback. Because you threw that with no hesitation, with no even thought that a guy would be over there. And he literally was sitting right there. You threw him a punt return, basically. Like 5 year old, your 5 year old son in the backyard, you're playing catch. That's how easy that pick was. But Again, that pick six was a big difference because guess what? If you take that pick six away, who wins the game? That's Evan McPherson, 30 yards out to win the game with no time left. Just honestly speaking, it's Evan McPherson with no time left. Evan McPherson with a couple seconds left and 30 yards out, maybe 40 yards out if you count it off correctly. I think it's 30 to 40 yards out. Who's been having an excellent season at home to win with no wind. There was no wind in that state. I like my chances. But continuing on, Chase Brown, great game, 18, 19 carries, 107, no touchdowns, but 5 yards a carry, almost 6. Really 6 yards a carry because 5.6, but I'm just not rounded up. I'm going to say 5 yards a carry. Had a 21-yard run. It's a couple runs he probably could have broken and went to the crib. I think one of the runs when we were backed up after the goal line stand, he broke out, and I think he just went the wrong way. I think if he bumps outside instead of, do a little hesitation move and then give the defense time to really get back over top, I think he breaks that for the crib. Again, if it was a fifth, everybody be drunk. But continuing on, Andre Yoshivas, 4 receptions, 61 yards, but 15 yards a catch, 7 targets. Not bad. I'm not mad at that number. I'm not mad at those numbers. I wish T was still there because T Higgins would have been a great help keeping, Christian Gonzalez moving, because now I think they put Christian Gonzalez and let him shadow him all game, which puts Marcus Jones and the boys on an islands or in zone coverage, which I like Yoshibas against zone because he does a great job sitting in the zone sometimes. I feel like some games he has it, and then some games it's just like, bro, what are you doing? Continuing on, Mike Gesicki, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 35 yards, 8 yards a catch. Again, another guy. He was a safety blanket, and he was doing his job perfectly. I think he had a couple catches that ended up being first downs or just moving the chains. So he's doing what a tight end should be doing, but I think we should work to incorporate him more in those spreads that gives us a great option when it comes to choice routes or things of that nature. I think he's a great choice receiver. Let him be that 10-yard in, 10-yard out, or just hunker down in the zone. I think that's his role. That could be the great role for him because guess what? He's good at doing it because tight ends, that's usually their niche. Finding those zones, finding where you can go with the ball, and doing what you got to do. Last but not least, and I'm skipping over T. Higgins because obviously T. Higgins got hurt. Prayers up for my boy. He's in concussion protocol, but he should be all right. Again, prayers up for 5, man. Prayers up for 5. But continuing on, let's talk about Mitchell Tinsley, wide receiver out of Penn State. He's been having an okay year. He hasn't got in every single game, but when he does get in, he produces. I like what he does for us. Came in, gave us a touchdown off of 6 targets, 2 receptions, 29 yards, and a tug. So, not to mention that tug being on Christian Gonzalez, by the way, which is an elite corner in this league. So I'm proud of him in that standpoint. But it's wild to say this, but I do think if you give Mitchell Tinsley another year in this offense, I think he takes Yoshiva's spot, or he's fighting Yoshiva's for that spot. And I think that's what Yoshi needs. I think he needs somebody to compete because I feel like he can't compete with T or Jamar. It doesn't make sense. Like nothing about T or Jamar compares. Nothing he does compares to T and Jamar. And not saying that in a bad way. I think the only thing he's better at, honestly, is blocking. And I think he's better than T at blocking. Not Jamar. I think he's one of the best blocking receivers that we have. Again, I think he needs a guy like Mitchell Tinsley to push him to be better. Because I feel like when he has that, we get games like this. And I think we'll start seeing these games more often because now he has somebody saying, like, bro, if you mess up, I'm getting in the game. And I think he needs that. The biggest thing I want people to understand is just Yoshi Voss is a good player. I just feel like sometimes he does not always fit the bill. Like in games where they're gonna double both sides and they leave you one-on-one, you should be eating. Like you should be feasting those reps. And I feel like he don't take advantage of it. But then we see this number 82 come in the game. He gets one-on-one with one of the most elite receivers in the league. And he takes him for a 16-yard touchdown off a go route, like off a fade. Meanwhile, you struggling against James Pierre and not no offense to James Pierre because he did just have a great game against Jamar Chase with help, but still had a great game. And we said this on the pod, on the Jump In Collab pod. We was just like, but still jumping. We said, yo, James Pierre, he's been hot, but the fact that we're watching struggle against nickel corners who really haven't been. Nickel corners is killing me. Like, I need to see more. Like, we expected Tyler Boyd-esque numbers out of him this year, and he's giving me none of that. And that's what I need. I need a Tyler Boyd right now. And I think, honestly, Mitchell Tinsley could be the Tyler Boyd that we're looking for if we give him the shot. So, Bengals, I think this week against the Ravens, give Mitchell Tinsley the shot. Like, let Jamar be on the outside. Let T. Higgins be on the outside. Put Tinsley in the slot. Or when you move Jamar around, move Tinsley to those other spots and let Tinsley prove if he can take those reps. If he takes the reps and he balls, it's a great situation. Possibly putting us one up on the Ravens and giving us a 3-1 lead in the division. Who wouldn't take it? Now, if he doesn't, you have all rights to put Yoshi right back in. But I think Mitchell Tinsley needs to see more reps. I think he has shown that when you give him a chance, he will accept the opportunity and try to do his best to commit and make things happen. Now, do I think he needs a little more on the running side? Yes. But at the end of the day, he does his job on the receiving side, and that's where we need help. Because guess what? Yoshi's not putting the billet somewhere because Joe Flacco act like he's not on the field sometimes. He goes from 1 to 5 to 88. And then every once in a while, he'll see 80 out the corner of his eye. 80, hit him. I think this is Yoshi's best game since Joe Flacco's been there. And I think we get Burrow back this week, even though I don't really want him to come back. I'd rather just rock out with Flacco. But still, it's just one of those things where I just think we have to give a guy that's been literally making plays for us a shot. Mitchell Tinsley has made plays for us. Give him a shot. If he shares the reps or they cut the rep or he cuts Yoshi's reps in half and he starts to overtake Yoshi, you just found a cheap Tyler Boyd for the low. And you could just pay him anything and he'll take it because guess what? He's not worth what Tyler Boyd money is right now. What Tyler Boyd money was. He's worth really right now nothing. Pennies on the dollar. So take that opportunity. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. My player of the game, man. Jack in the Box player of the game. We brought this in last week on the Glad podcast, so I'm gonna bring it to my pod. Jack in the Box player of the game, Chase Brown. Chase Brown wins it 2 times in a row. Another game with 100 yards, even though it didn't end in a dub. Yes, back-to-back 100-yard games. I think this is the first time in a while that he's had back-to-back 100-yard games. Not to mention back-to-back 5 yards per carry games, which is very impressive against 2 good defenses. So I'm proud of him. And then I'm going to give a little shout out to the offensive line. The offensive line, 1 sack against the Patriots. I think 2 sacks or 1 sack against the Steelers. Great job. I'm very proud of our offensive line because the way our offensive line has played so far, I am very proud of how we've been running the ball. So continue to carry that confidence and let's try to get a dub Thursday night. But speaking of Thursday night, let's get on them purple birds, man. Thanksgiving, prime time, Ravens, Bengals. Jamar comes back with a vengeance on his shoulders. Well, with vengeance on the mind. After the last 2 times he's seen the Ravens, he was putting up 200 plus. I think we can get him. Lamar has been hampering an ankle injury. Derrick Henry's been Derrick Henry, obviously. Not saying he's been posting Derrick Henry numbers in the sense of like 150 yards a game, but he's putting in good numbers, getting the touchdowns that they need. Their passing game hasn't been great. Lamar hasn't been really great since coming back. Hopefully he doesn't wake up against us. But again, this is a division opponent. These games are usually very ticky-tack. I'm not going to say ticky-tack in the sense of touchy, like as soon as you touch them, it's a penalty, but very ticky-tack in the sense of how they can go. Like one game, they might be like, they blow us out by 30. Next game, it's like they can't even touch us. Or it'll be 2 hard-fought games and two hard-fought 3-point wins. You know what I'm saying? Like even last year, we were not that great last year, but both games against the Ravens came down to 1 possession or overtime. So I think this is another one of those games. I think we're coming into this game with a lot on our shoulders right now with playoff hopes on the line. Even though I don't see how that's possible, but it is a lot of jobs on the line with Zach Taylor, Al Golden. I think even though Al Golden is just getting there, I got a good feeling if Zach Taylor leaves, he's not staying. He's not going to be a guy that stays, and if he is, he has a lot of work to do. I think the GM, Tobin, your job is right now riding on this team making the playoffs. I think all the front office needs to be literally trying to put this together because, again, I think this season is still one of those make or breaks. If this doesn't happen, I think they clean house. I think Zach Taylor's gone. If Zach Taylor's gone, the whole team, the whole coaching staff is gone. I think if Duke Tobin's gone, I think they're cleaning house with the whole front office. So again, it's one of those things where I'm starting to think about, okay, how do we beat this? I think we beat the Ravens by continuing our good running game, continuing what our run has been for the past 2 games. I think if we can get that, that starts it. That starts it. But the parts that are going to make the difference is, Joe, get the ball out of your hands to your playmakers. Stop holding on the ball for the the deep 40-yard throw with the guy in stride. I know it's beautiful. I know it's highlight reel material. I know we look at it like that's Joe Burrow. That's Joe Burrow. That's Joe Burrow. But at the end of the day, if he catches a slant and takes it to the crib, or he catches a post and takes it to the crib, what does it say on this? What does it say on the stat sheet? 50-yard reception for a touchdown. It doesn't say what he ran. It doesn't say how he ran it. It doesn't say what happened. It just says 70-yard touchdown. Joe Burrow to T. Higgins, Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow to Yoshi, Joe Burrow to Mitch Tenson, whatever the case, Joe Burrow to Mike Gesicki, if that's crazy enough. But again, that's what it's going to say. So I need him to have somewhat of what Flacco's mindset was, bro, I'm not trying to hold on to this thing. Let me get the ball out my hands. Let me get it to these boys that want to touch the ball and get out of there and make these corners have to work. Make these corners have to tackle. Make Kyle Hamilton have to start playing all parts of the field, not just sit in the front part of it, or sit on the freaking front 7 and just play, one spot. I want him to have to really have to switch it up. Like go from deep safety to in the box, go from in the box to 2 high, go from 2 high to 1 high, go from 2 high and roll into 1 high. Like I need these boys to have to really have to start testing this offense and figuring out what works. So if we can get them on their heels early in the sense of making them have to change it up from just sitting in 2 high the whole game, I feel that that's going to bring a lot more success for Jamar, a lot more success for T. If we do have T this week, because obviously he's dealing with concussion protocol, it's going to bring a lot more success to Yoshivas, a lot more success to Mitchell Tinsley if he does get in the game, and definitely a lot more success for Mike Gesicki, even though they do have some really good linebackers. I think this is the way to beat them. You have to put them on their heels early. So we have to establish the run game. No Matabuke, Roquan is there, but no Matabuke is a big loss. We're used to seeing that big number 92 sitting in the hole and clogging up things. He's not there. Let's take advantage of it. Let's start off trying to pound on that left side, right side, type ordeals. Get Roquan Smith running around. Play action. Let's throw some things in there that we haven't really put in there. Let's go play action boot. Get Joe Burrow out on a simple little bootleg with options. Let's make these. If it's not there, throw it away. It's fine. But we have to make sure that we establish the run game. We've established the last 2 weeks. This is going to be a week that we need to do. I don't care if the game's ugly. I don't care if it's 13-10 Bengals win. If we get a win, that's all that matters. Because right now we need one. We're in, and this is the game that we've been talking about all year because this is our 4th straight game going into Baltimore. Let's make it happen. Let's make this 4th straight year into Baltimore the worst year. If we can do that for them, obviously not for us. I'd rather not go through another Pittsburgh Bengals in Pittsburgh game where we're 34-10 and we're trying to figure out how to freaking do anything right. So again, we have a lot of keys to victory on the defensive side. I just went over the keys of victory to the offensive side, but almost forgot the defense. Keys of victory to the defensive side. Make him have to throw to win. Once we get that point, I trust our secondary. Out golden. Stop being scared. Don't double guess yourself. Don't overthink it. 4th down. 3rd and long. Quarters. 1st and 2nd down. We're in cover 3 we're in cover 3 Jordan battle in the box until he shows me he's going to be cover 3 or cover 1 hole until he beats. I'd rather watch Lamar have to throw it and beat us than watch Derrick Henry and Lamar run that show with their legs. Make Zay Flowers Rashad Bateman, and Mark Andrews beat us. Isaiah Likely, if he's even there. Make those wide receivers and tight ends have to beat us. And if they do it, congratulations. Great. But if they don't, that's the game plan. If any other team in the NFL can sit over there and say, we're going to play 7 to 8 in the box, and we're going to make you throw this ball, and it's worked for them, why can't we? And I know they have won some games since him being back, and the one game before he came back with Tyler Huntley. But again, teams that have beat him, 7 or 8 in the box, pressure, keep him contained, stop the run, keep him contained, stop the run, and then make him throw this ball. And once you get him to throwing down pressure quarters, make them have to complete tough balls. I don't care how bland it sounds, but that's the way to beat the Ravens. You have to stop the run. You have to make Lamar throw. And yes, Lamar has been a great thrower of the football, but in the past 2 weeks, he has not looked that great. He's not looked back up at form. He doesn't look like the MVP candidate from last year. He doesn't look anything like he's been playing. Even the first start of the season, he didn't look like the guy that we saw last year. Take notes from his past few games. Look at what those teams have done, and let's rock out. We can beat this team. We've done it before. It's not something new, but we have to do things differently than what we've been doing the past couple weeks, because the past couple weeks have resulted in L's. We haven't got a W. The last W was 3 weeks ago against the Steelers. We have to change something. And I think the change is start sending pressure. We're doing a lot of disguised pressure. Don't send it, or just send one guy. No, let's send pressure. Let's risk it for the biscuit sometimes. We have yet to see Al Golden be uber aggressive and just be like, you know what, I'm going back to Notre Dame. I'm just going to send it at you. And if you beat it with man coverage, you beat it, that's fine. But let's bring back that Al Golden. That's what I want to see. I want to see Notre Dame Al Golden, where you're just getting tricky. You're just like, Geno Stone, sit middle of the field. We're in man coverage. Guys, go. I don't care what. Choose your gaps as you go, but choose your gaps as it comes, and let's rock out. That's what I want to see on third down. I want to see third down and long. Third down and long. It's man coverage across the board. We're sending it at you. Figure it out. Keep one guy lacking and creeping just in case Lamar tries to get out. And let's send it at him. Their offensive line has not been great this year. Myles Garrett got this man 3 times. And I know that's Myles Garrett, but guess what? That defensive line was still eating with Myles Garrett not getting it. So I know we haven't had any great pressure this year. Trey Hendrickson's been on the mend with that hip injury. But let's switch it up. Let's force some one-on-ones. Let's force some guys being untouched. Let's force some guys into some holding penalties. We haven't done it. Demetrius Knight is a great blitzer. Let's put him to the test. Barrett Carter, a great blitzer. Let's put him to the test. Let's send these boys. Send one and keep the other. I would suggest keeping Barrett Carter, because Barrett Carter is faster than Demetrius Knight. But that's just my personal opinion. But again, that's my defensive game plan. We have to spice this thing up. We got to get his feet running. We got to get him to throw the ball. So early, let's control the clock, control the ground game on both sides. Control the clock and control the ground game. If we can control those, I feel like we win a passing game. And you're going to say, oh, well, Jack, they did it. They beat y'all passing last year. Yeah, I know. But that's exactly why I wanted to be a passing game. Because when it's a passing game, guess what? It comes down to our mess ups. I'd rather it come down to us messing up than coming down to, well, it's just Lamar Jackson. No, I want it to come down to us, not to him. Let us be the decider of that. You know what I mean? But again, fellas, can't wait till Thursday. It's going to be a great time. A lot of good football. Joe Burrow coming back, and I'm not excited for it. But again, I'm excited, but I'm not excited. I don't want to see Joe Burrow get hurt again. I don't want to see him rush back, and then we still don't make it, and it was all for none. Do I want him back? Yes, in the sense of, yes, I would love him back on the field, but at the same time, at the risk of losing him for another season or losing him for all for none would be catastrophic. So that's my spiel. That's my take. This is Jumping In with Jack. You can follow me on social media on all platforms at Jump the letter N with Jack. Come find me. Come comment, subscribe. Come just have a conversation with the kid. We love to have conversation. We love to talk football, no matter if it's college, no matter if it's NFL, no matter if it's college basketball, college football. Let's just get into it. At the end of the day, make sure you pray, drink water, and we are